What's up, everybody? So how do you grow a coaching, consulting, expert, agency owner kind of business and do it without Facebook ads? Now, one of the big myths that I see from people is that the only way to grow a coaching business is what's kind of come along in the last 2 years is a whole lot of the Facebook ads to an automated webinar to get people to sign up, or Facebook ads to a group. And those certainly work. In fact, we actually grew a coaching business August 2016 to $50,000 a month. Did it using that exact model, so it most definitely works. But what happens if either you don't have the budget for Facebook ads, or you're not really good at them, or they're too highly technical for you, or you don't enjoy that kind of work? These can pose real problems. Or what if you're a natural introvert instead of an extrovert, and it's not your style to show up big in a video and tell everybody how great you are, like some people. So what do you do if that's your style and you need to do something? Well, believe it or not, it is a big myth that this is the only way to do it. It is an effective way. It is one way to be right, but it is nonetheless our way to be right. And I've actually seen 5 different ways that coaching businesses have been grown, predictably, repeatably, successfully using. So I want to share a couple of those with you real quick. I had to write them down on a yellow napkin style so I wouldn't forget them. One of the first ways I've seen that done is entirely organic, done with speaking gigs. So I know quite a few people who are professional speakers. They go around and they sell people into their coaching thing. Now, interestingly enough, what's more powerful than the Facebook ad to the webinar is the principles behind it that make it work, because all the things that make a speaking empire work are exactly the same. Now, again, if you're not the kind of person who's big and outgoing and you're a natural introvert, one of the ways I want to suggest to you that I've seen this done, and it is actually the most predictable, most repeatable, and most successful, is to implement referral systems from people who already have your target market, already have the people you're trying to reach, already have influence and trust with them, and then simply getting them to refer you. And what most people don't realize is there are strategies to make that happen that are beyond just begging for referrals. So begging and asking your friends and family for referrals is not a strategy, but there's ways to do it much more strategically. Another way I've seen it done is very organically, by simply repeatedly posting content in organic social groups. So I've seen this done 2 places. One of those is LinkedIn. It was one of the things we used. We had a professional market, but I've also seen a whole lot of other people using LinkedIn groups who don't use Facebook at all, because their people are more professionals and they're on LinkedIn, and you tend to get higher people from there. The average person on LinkedIn actually makes $100,000 a year, which is a lot higher than Facebook. I've also seen it done. A friend of mine named Bruno actually built his business from zero standing start in 8 months to $700,000 a month. Did it entirely just answering questions in Facebook groups and then selling the people who took the next step, as well as a friend of mine, Manny, who did something very, very similar, got a whole bunch of strategy sessions by building his expertise and doing that organically. Now, that does require repetition, and it is real work. So it may not work for you if you're the lazy type who want to think more strategically and automated. Last way I've seen it done is really, really simple. It's very old school, but it is joint ventures. I recently just had an amazing interview with Jay Abraham. If you're not familiar with him, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like the #1 name in marketing. You got to know who he is. And he built up an actual high ticket. So most people are trying to get coaching clients. And one of the things Jay told me is that at the peak of theirs, they were the biggest seminar and coaching business in the world. And he was getting people to give $10,000 for a 3-day workshop, and he was filling them by the hundreds. So we're not talking just 1 or 2. Imagine 500 people in a room that all paid 10 grand to do that. So this is not new, despite the fact that what's really emerged in the last little while is a whole bunch of 8-week programs and coaching models, and those all work, and I'm not saying anything bad, but that is only our way to do it. And so I urge you to think more laterally, because you have to find the way that fits with your unique personality and fits with what you do. So if Facebook ads and technical stuff aren't your thing, you're going to have a much, much harder time growing that kind of business, even though it works, because you're doing all the things you hate. So those are 5 different ways you can do it and get into it and be very, very successful, and they all are very systematized, organized, and repeatable and predictable. And of course, they all take some work, so don't be lazy, but they also all have, long-term benefits to doing that work. So what are you doing right now that you're stuck on that is very narrow focused and requiring you to do something that you're not necessarily good at? Because if you're caught in that trap, there's lots of ways out. There's lots of other creative ways that do work with your personality type. And that's it. We started the video with a burp, and now I'm gonna probably, or a fart, I'm probably gonna burp now. So, it's a highly technical marketing video we got here. So thank you, Finn. May the force be with you.